Why is the word ontological often used in conjunction with God's truth, beauty, and goodness?
I think ontological is just beingology.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like logical being. It's
Okay.
Onto, I think, is being.
Okay,
The
so-
Greek. So sometimes the Greek concepts, it's just like the study of being or being. Think of it like, actually, a good way to think of it, this is kind of me thinking off the fly. Think of it like a pyramid. So at the bottom is what we experience in this world, which is, for the most part, multiplicity. So there's many things. Each one of us has our own consciousness. We're somewhat distinct. And then as you climb up, there's greater and greater unity. And then at the point of God, there's a concept that St. Thomas Aquinas deals with. It's called the divine simplicity. That is, in God there is no parts or distinction. There's maybe not distinctions, I have to be careful, but there's no parts to God. There's an utter simplicity to God, a oneness to God. And so in God, there's no separation between his justice and his mercy, between his goodness, his truth, and his beauty. All things have their archetype and the simplicity of God. And yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so, and you can even think of it as even in the contemplative life, it's like a ladder that you climb, that when your spirit stretches towards the infinite, you come to participate in that unity, if you will. That's the contemplative life. And I think you can even think of this like practically on a business level. There's, you could think of it as like a hierarchy within your business. There's like decisions, like your secretary says, do you want flowers on the table for the luncheon, or do you want red flowers, or do you want purple flowers? So it's like a strange level of detail that's very immediate and concrete, but a decision has to be made. Then there's like the personnel decisions, and there's like the big picture things that kind of are, and there's layers of abstraction that you go up. Because Jordan Peterson talks about this a lot. CEOs and folks like yourself, you have to deal with like high levels of abstraction in terms of the business, understanding the big picture, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but the leader also has to understand the details, like you were saying. It's important to have the right flowers in the right setting. So you have to be able to scan the whole range. And the leaders who don't know the details really don't know what they're doing. They're just sitting up on, they're surfacing.
Which is often the critique of the contemplatives sometimes. The famous poet made fun of Plato for being lost in the clouds and then tripping into a ditch. I believe that's in one of the...
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I was just at a Liberty Fund meeting with these intellectuals, and they're talking about these abstractions. But in my world, we have to understand the abstract and then do something with it and make it work in the real world. So maybe I won't even say there's pragmatism, but there's a methodology of doing that. And usually the people at the high theory level can't necessarily do that because they're good at the high theory. The practitioners, just like you as a priest, have to figure out how to make that work in the world.